improvements going on that could make their way into that top 3. Survival stage is where it's at, though, at the moment, and I think that when you're looking at that side of the match, there is many teams survival stage tournament, so you hot off the heels of gameplay. For these teams, they are going to be getting a little bit cold in the meantime.
The Infinity rolling up on Tizzy, but they've been swung a doozy at him as Tarman reigns on into the fight as well. They will be dispatched, but there is a high angle from a teammate to try and suppress the Infinity from going for these full flushes. Chicken is on in as well, but he gets cooked out of the engagement. Mela and Newsy active for the Infinity.
Soko heading further down towards that southwest side does open up these things when it comes to playing on that high ground. This is to the south of this engagement, in fact. There's a lot of open ground. It's hilly, and if center is available to them, they'll take that center position. I think that just comes with experience throughout the years of PUBG Mobile that they've played. They're very quickly adapting to this type of style of map, type of lobby. Next, Soko heads up towards that northern side. Massive amount of high ground towards the middle of this one.
A lot of teams going to be impactful on this fight. Napa Galaxy losing Freak Hamodi there. Probably on quite a difficult angle to hold. I mean, really had a downward trend that has been picked up by teams like LGD and by Bigatron. Seems like that as well. A lovely nade over the top from Break to find Jen Foster. BTR will lose one of their players. Not ideal. Especially after I said that they didn't do that mode. As is normally known. Bururam suffering, unfortunately, against this engagement with Team Queso. At the bottom of the tables, they've had a little bit of an impact here. First of all, Enigma Galaxy, and now moving their attention over towards Bururam. Tiger is still active, though, and you can never count him out. When you back him in a corner, certainly fierce. Bigatron. Shots sent their way from Box, from across the way from DRS. They are really out in the open here, and it's a difficult move they've tried to make. And it has kind of crumbling down at this stage. Misery, last standing for the squad.
I mean, if DRS is playing their cards right and they see how this one's have allowed Box to get into that position without taking shots, so they can eliminate BTI, who are currently in front of them. Mad Bulls, they lose effect. Now, Monkey has to be consistently good with his nades, and usually finds at least one of them. This might be time for Mad Bulls to at least find something in this game. This is an isolated engagement from them, so if they can't win this one out, you're looking, things are going to get slightly dicey. That's a good nade over the top. Teak sent backwards. They will have to bring effect back into the fight, though.
Come on, Mad Bulls, show us what you're made of. We've been waiting all tournament. 15th place is unbecoming. Run around the edge of the smoke. The backup from 6 not going to be able to find that sightline. Oh dear. The lineup was good. Look at that. Titan with the good spread. Skills' last player standing. Hang on a minute. He's brought effect back into the fold. The heal does come through. 2 players down for Mad Bulls. Only the 1 for Titan. So 3 players up and on the mound. They're playing close. The Mad Bulls might be able to look at one another if effect can get a shot on the side, if they can win their ones, but they will not be able to do it. And again, the Mad Bulls just fall flat.
Immediately get over to this side of the circle so quickly. They will have to now contend with Team Queso as well as I8 on the top side. Titans have spotted out the players from R8, but the shots are coming back, and that's from Hamzy G from S2G, in fact.
That's almost a 400-meter shot, that. Very nice. To be able to tap that one away. LGD seeing the top of that hill. This big bunker that they're currently sharing with R8. This ridge line that's sort of isolating it away from a lot of those teams playing near the roadside. LGD want to play on this north.
Nade's a bit short, but the Molotov is good. That'll be the remainder of R8 now down. CCC hitting the flames. Beautiful stuff. Delta scarily close to Screams, in fact.
Ooh. Rattles off a couple shots for Reyes from Team Queso. Scream will get fallen. In response, Delta, with rules up the top down, wants to have a little bit of a maneuver to try and keep them in this. Papi Potro very, very much split, leaving Reyes pretty much alone here. We'll be able to control some of the sight lines, but Titans are looking out this south side. Is looking to be there. Titans might have something to say about it, but in the meantime, it's 4 rivals clashing with Box over on the north side. They haven't even crossed the road yet. And this hurdle is once more needing to be cleared. A 2v1 right now. between the squads, and 4 Rivals heavily suffering, but so are Box as well. Trismay at the back, last standing for the squad. 1 player alive for 4 Rivals. Pui close and up to the vehicle. Bullets ringing through. A smoke there wants to bring Break back into the box and play as 2 from here on out, but teammates are bleeding out fast, and Infinity might even be looking for a position on the alternate side of the road. They drop a vehicle there to give them some cover for later.
I mean, they would love to get... LGD would love to have got into that engagement. Ayala tries to move up with the DBS, can't get quite close enough to make anything happen. And Papi Potro has been playing this backstop the entire time with some very good awareness on there. Moved from them by Reyes, but other than that, no, it was not meant to be. 4 Rivals step up towards Trismay. No medical supplies on board.
Oh.
Can he make it happen? Has to pull out the second weapon, and that's it. Trismay, clutch player from Box, able to take out the final player of 4 Rivals, but it will be a nade to finish it off. But 8 limbs, still happy with that.
Really, really happy with that for Box. You'll take those, you certainly will. Shots over towards S2G, they only had 2 left, they're down to 1. Hamzy G against the Infinity will be felled as well.
Able to get their feet planted in, stabilize just a little bit, but they have to deal with Titans now, who also have some control over on this side. High ground, it will be difficult to dislodge him from this position, and again, be down to how each team plays out their rotate and how this next circle operates.
XIA putting nades up to the north towards the Infinity. But that's beautiful from Logan. Getting those sightlines and establishing a little bit more control over towards DRS, towards the Infinity as well. And LGD, who are just plinking away here. Aegon XIA on the outside of the circle, trying to move forwards, but cut short by DRS.
Circle doesn't really favor anyone here. And LGD is still able to play from this little lip at the moment. MVM sent over that side to ensure that Titans don't get the outside track, able to put a stop to that. They have vehicles, they have some cover to play around with. Suki has to hit those shots over towards the Infinity. Immediately backs off. 5 nades as well, so we'll be able to maybe stop these players from moving in. But now, again, it's Titans who have always been this big problem for LGD throughout.
It's like they're a little bit trapped. LGD, they have that ridge line to crest. And against so many sightlines, it's going to be brutal. There's a little bit more cover ahead of DRS, and Titan have the compound.
Soon, it's going to be full combat. Titans have to leave their compound, but will try to do as much damage as possible before vacating.
Bets split themselves off to cover. They're not really going to be able to claim a lot of sightlines here. Instead, they're just got to try and keep their heads down. Valuable tire pop coming through from YZ. But he's backing off. They're not going aggressive. They're repositioning, and they're getting ready their move. This next circle.
CCC taking shots up towards DRS. IA also chiming in. Few the players going down, and that will delay them massively. So important for DRS to be able to get out, but making the first move, they were the ones that made the sound, and everyone was waiting underneath the rocks, ready to strike.
DRS with 2 now. LGD pick off a Titan. With 4 of themselves alive, they now have the major advantage in this circle. Nobody else at full force with Puncher down. That leaves Titan at 3. LGD nearly take a knock over towards CCC, but do manage to squeak that away behind the smoke. Get out of danger, get out of dodge. DRS on 2, playing in the blue zone. And look at that, 2-3 teams now taking shots out their way. They haven't been able to play around those trees or get to the ridge lines ahead. And Aegon XIA, they have been keeping their nose clean.
It's possible for LGD with the vehicles they're able to hold on to, with the cover that they set up. They'll be able to outlast a lot of these teams coming out from the blue. I8 will finish off the final members of the RS. Titans, though, spot at least one of those players. In the meantime, they've got troubles of their own as one player is knocked, trying to bring it back to the feet, but that will delay them quite a bit. That's a great nade, and CCC just has to throw one more, but only one more in the pocket, has to make it count.
We'll be able to find both of them as it bursts in the air. Slivers of HP found, and he picks up the 7-10 split. Cut down on the back as Teak rains hell down from the top. And 1-2 fall to the crosshairs. Teak absolutely furious about that. Will not let it lie, and LGD now turn the tables. They're down to one. YZ cannot afford to be burnt away here. Forced out on the res. The zone will be closing, but they have a central position. Gets one res through. Teak, not so lucky. Trying to get cut down out in the open on the cross.
Ooh, Ghost.
Nade in from Ghost. Aegon XI8 looking to spoil the day for LGD, but they are sticking these reses. 2 players alive for Titan, 2 for Aegon XI8. And LGD recruiting 3.
Still with 3 here, it will all matter about the nades. Maybe UZM's nade was better placed over towards LGD.
There it is.
As YZZ Elite picks up 1, that's both of them down. 3v2, John.
LGD with a chance for the back-to-back here, Blank, to put themselves in a great stead for the tournament tables. Aegon XI8 with a blinder of a game as well. 4 eliminations so far, guaranteed second place. 3 players alive for LGD, though they know exactly what they're up against. They know what they've got in the pocket. 11, and they're going to rack up that big 12 elimination. Chicken dinner for a back-to-back victory. They dominate on Erangel, they follow it up and dominate on Miramar. The decisions are on point.
And you've got to love some of these plays that they make. Again, it's just generally very strong map knowledge, and being able to use this 2-2 effectively is what is really giving them a lot of this ground to be able to cover side. But towards that later part of the game, it actually favors them massively because there's still those little ridges to...
I knew it was going to take some time because, once again, it is their first time playing outside of their region, but now they're feeling comfortable, now they're feeling good, and they're pulling the 10,000 IQ rotations every single game so far today.
Good first match where they finished 3rd overall. They've had another good match here, finishing 2nd. Getting a little bit more eliminations, and now they're in a much better position. Now they're getting themselves closer and closer to that top 20 spot.
Fall into you.